What up, YouTube? It's No Change, and I am back for another commentary, and we are back for the first episode of the postseason. As you guys saw in the season wrap-up, we are facing the Pittsburgh Steelers for the third time, except this time it's win or go home in the playoffs. So let's take a look at the Steelers and how they've done this season statistically. Their leader, Ben Roethlisberger, has not done very well this season. Only 14 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but you guys know we put him out for that good portion of the season when we met him in I believe that was week 3, but early in the season we put him out. But a player that we do have to watch out for is Antonio Brown. He torched us in 2 different games, but one thing that the Steelers were not able to do was protect the passer. Let's see if we could take advantage of that, even though we are missing Geno Atkins. But let's get ready for this game. We are at home, and let's get started. Alright guys, it is a cold day here at Paul Brown Stadium. David Shaw in his rookie head coaching year accumulated 11 wins and 5 losses, and he has coached this team very, very well. Got into a first round bye, so the Bengals get past that dreaded first round that they've been in the last 3 years where they have hit the same wall. So hopefully being in a divisional round, that'll change things up a bit. But right off the bat, the Bengals force a turnover. Big hit by an unlikely face. Jermaine Gresham forcing the fumble. Archer giving the ball up, and it was recovered that time by, I believe that was Sean Williams who recovered it, and I'm correct, that was Sean Williams. But the initial contact was made by Pac-Man Jones. Then Jermaine Gresham was able to force the fumble, and George Aloka actually recovered it. So you see he had the ball there. But let's see what the Bengals can do with the ball. They hand it off to Jeremy Hill. We are without Giovanni Bernard, but that does not matter as Jeremy Hill gets into the end zone and takes the lead on his first carry and the first offensive play for the Cincinnati Bengals. So finally, no fumble on the kick return. Ben Roethlisberger is able to come out and take command of this offense. 2nd down and 10 for him. Empty backfield. He will be brought down by Carlos Dunlap. They have struggled to defend him in the first 2 matchups in the season, so let's see if they can do a better job. Here's Dunlap again, getting pancaked that time, but it is far too long for the Steelers to get the first down. So the Bengals get the ball back. They punt it. We go to Tyler Eifert for a gain of 4 that time. 3rd down and 1. We're going to Jeremy Hill, of course. He's our bruiser back. He gets past the first level and gets to around midfield, and we are at the 46-yard line now. Andy Dalton back to pass. Can't find anybody open. He will be sacked, and he will fumble the ball. Luckily, he was there to recover it. But let's see if we can convert the 3rd down and 16. Andy Dalton, nice clean pocket, still dropping back. Is going to just throw this one away. The coverage on that play was impeccable by the Steelers. They get the ball back, though. They're going to dump this one off to Le'Veon Bell, who was just arrested on marijuana charges in real life. But anyway, 3rd down and 6 for Roethlisberger. He is under pressure. He will dump this one off to Heath Miller, and he will get just enough for the first down. 2nd down and 10. We will get a pass deflection by Daniel Manning, and that was a great play. Diving deflection there for him, stopping the tight end from getting that ball. So 3rd down and 10 for Roethlisberger. He will be sacked this time. It is Wallace Gilberry who will bring down Ben Roethlisberger. Bengals get yet another attempt to increase their lead in this one, but instead Andy Dalton will try to force this one into A.J. Green, and he will be intercepted by Ike Taylor. You guys know his name because he's picked off our quarterbacks many times before. But here's Le'Veon Bell up the sideline, getting all the way down inside the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Ben Ben Roethlisberger will be intercepted by Terrence Newman, and he can almost go for 6, but he steps out of bounds. It was looking like the Steelers were going to tie this game up for a second. They got all the way inside the 30-yard line, but instead Ben Roethlisberger keeps up his shaky play of the year and throws an interception nearly in the red zone. But there's Andy Dalton trying to increase our 7-point lead, give ourselves some breathing room, but instead he gets sacked for a big loss there. We're trying to get back 20 yards, third down. We go screen to Jeremy Hill. He comes up just a yard short, but it's not worth risking it, so we're going to punt it. We give it back to the Steelers. Le'Veon Bell finds a wide open hole all the way up the right side, breaks a tackle, and gets to the 7-yard line. He is already up to 88 yards in the first half. That is ridiculous. This time they go to LeGarrette Blount, and he will get into the end zone, so they tie things up at 7. Ben Roethlisberger is excited that our offense isn't generating any type of momentum. Even though he threw an interception, we're just not taking that momentum that the defense gives us and creating points. So he's excited that they just tied the game up. So Andy Dalton and this offense is going to try to put some points on the board. They haven't done so outside of the first minute of the game. So here's Andy Dalton rolling out to his left side. He sees an open Marvin Jones. Let me just take you guys through what happened there. I tried to hit Marvin Jones. He was wide open, but I ended up being past the line of scrimmage, so I ended up sliding. But anyway, we're facing 3rd down and 6. We're going to our favorite screenplay to Jeremy Hill. He gets a nice block and will get into the end zone. So Jeremy Hill is proving to be more of an asset than a replacement in this game as he scores his 2nd touchdown of the day. The first was on the ground, the 2nd was through the air. He is playing great. Andy Dalton gets credited with a passing touchdown, although it really had not that much to do with him. But we go right back up by 7. We are leading in this game in our division playoff matchup versus the Steelers by a score of 14-7. And we are looking good right now. We get the ball to start off the half. There's Andy Dalton warming up. Not playing too bad. Did throw a bad interception in a double coverage, a very crowded area. I'm not sure how he thought he could fit it in there. But other than that, he's played decent. I mean, our offense just hasn't played well all day. But here's Jeremy Hill again breaking a tackle, getting 8 yards on the play. He's up to 60 yards on the day. We're going read option to Andy Dalton. He will get a nice lane and will be brought down. And we have to watch that because Andy Dalton does get hurt easily. He's a lot more fragile in this game, but that time he fires a nice ball into AJ Green, but they're calling it incomplete. So David Shaw does the smart thing, throws a challenge flag. Let's see a replay and see if Andy Dalton got that one into AJ Green and he was able to get his feet down. I mean, it definitely looked like he had his feet down. Let's take another look after the challenge. It looks like he definitely got his feet in. Let's take a look again. That's 1 foot, and then he tapped the foot again. So I think if you tap a foot twice, that counts as 2 feet. But let's see what they call it. I don't know.
After reviewing the call, the rule on the field stands.
As you see, the call stands. So I decided to go Sherlock Holmes and do my own research, do my own investigation of the catch. And will you look at that? It definitely looks like AJ Green got 1, 2, 3, 4 feet in bounds, and they still caught it incomplete. That's just a Madden glitch, though. Let's hope that it doesn't come back to haunt us in this playoff game, because I would be really upset if the game came down to 3 points, because that would have put the Bengals in field goal range. But anyway, Le'Veon Bell is right up the gut of the Bengals defense and will get into the end zone and tie things up at 14. But I don't know if Leon Hall tackled him after he got into the end zone on purpose, but Le'Veon Bell was injured by that hit and will be out for the remainder of the game after getting over 100 yards in such a short amount of time. And that is very good for the Bengals. I mean, you never like to see a player hurt, but he's hurt, and honestly, I can't be upset about that. I mean, it's the Steelers, it's the playoffs. But anyway, Andy Dalton is constructing a very nice drive, but on 3rd down and 8, you get a tiptoe falling out of bounds catch by Marvin Jones, and that will force us to try for a field goal, but Mike Nugent will miss the field goal, a short field goal, after the Bengals had constructed a very nice drive, one of the few drives this game where they have been able to get some momentum, and it gets wasted with no points. But there's Carlos Dunlap getting his 2nd sack of the game. He is applying the pressure to Ben Roethlisberger, not allowing him to stay comfortable. And look again at this pass. He could barely set his feet. He just threw this one up to Archer. Luckily for them, it was not intercepted. But we're going to hit AJ Green on the comeback route. He is up to 51 41 yards on the day. Andy Dalton is back to pass. This time he'll find Mohamed Sanu as he gets past midfield, and we get started in the fourth quarter with a tie game, 14-all. So Ryan Whalen will come down with this pass. He holds on, takes the big hit, and will get us inside the 30-yard line. We're going to hand this one off to Jeremy Hill from the shotgun formation. He will be brought down by Troy Polamalu. So second down and 12. We're firing into the end zone for the touchdown to Tyler Eifert from Andy Dalton. Very nice laser pass from Andy Dalton that time. Got that one in there really fast. And there's Tyler Eifert coming down with a touchdown, his first postseason touchdown. Andy Dalton is actually playing very well considering how bad he's played the last 3 years in the postseason. So he's thrown 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and I will have to credit that to playing against a team that he's seen twice already this season. So following that touchdown toss and the extra point, the Bengals are up by 7. The score is now 21-14. Cincinnati leading the way after that touchdown. 72% completion for Andy Dalton, not too shabby. Ben Roethlisberger under pressure again, gonna throw this one up into double coverage, and it will be intercepted by Reggie Nelson, who has really come on late in the season and into the postseason as he comes down with an interception. Ben Roethlisberger not playing well, continue, as I said before, his shaky season. But we've been in that position before. We've taken away the ball from the offense, but we haven't been able to do anything with our offense. But there's no effort by A.J. Green that time to come down with that ball. So once again, we get the takeaway and have to punt it. But they will have to punt after that failed third down conversion. So the Bengals have a chance again to increase our lead past 1 score. But once again, we take a loss. We're going screen to Jeremy Hill. He will be brought down after only gaining actually nothing. So we punt the ball once again, 3 straight punts. And there's Ben Roethlisberger being sacked for the 3rd time today by Carlos Dunlap. The injury to their left guard is proving lethal for the Pittsburgh offense. So once again, they're going screen on 3rd down. They will not be able to get it. So with about 3 minutes left, if we get a score here, the game is pretty much over. We hit Tyler Eifert for a gain of 8 that time. 3rd down and 1. We're going pass play. Andy Dalton looking for somewhere to throw it, but instead he will be sacked by Ryan Shazier, defensive rookie of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So the Steelers get the ball once again. Ben Roethlisberger will be brought down again by Robert Gaithers, and he will go down. That will bring in Landry Jones. 3rd down for Landry Jones. Not a good situation for him to come into. He will be sacked by Carlos Dunlap, and he will fumble the football. And the offense could not score, but the defense did, and they force a fumble in the end zone, and it was recovered for a touchdown by Leon Hall. Landry Jones was forcing a 3rd down and 26 from his own 4-yard line while being protected by a struggling Steelers offensive line and pursued by a dominant Bengals defensive line. And when you add all those things up, the result was this play. Carlos Dunlap has been dominating the offensive line, gets another sack. This time he forces the fumble, and Leon Hall was right there to recover it. But it's not over yet. We're only up by 2 scores. Landry Jones, though, will be intercepted by Terrence Newman, and that will seal the deal for the Bengals in the postseason. So we have finally gotten the postseason victory that has been so elusive for this franchise, and the deal is sealed by a Terrence Newman interception. So our defense, honestly, you guys saw it. Our defense played great. Our offense didn't do too well. The defense dominated, and even though Ben Roethlisberger had a shaky season, you can never, and when I say never, listen to me, never count out Ben Roethlisberger in the postseason. But somehow the Bengals were able to apply the pressure, force Ben to have a terrible game, throwing 2 interceptions. And I believe he did throw 1 touchdown. We'll see the stat line. And honestly, these Steelers were good through a certain point of the season, but towards the end of the season they didn't do too well. After we beat them, after they were on their 5-game win streak, it was downhill from there for the Steelers. But this game was a little bit unrealistic. I'm not gonna lie. Carlos Dunlap got 6 sacks, which is completely crazy in my opinion, but I'm okay with it being 1 game out of 17 games where he does break out for a crazy game like that, because Carlos Dunlap is no bum. He's not a bum at all. He's a great defensive end a starting defensive end on a lot of different teams, but that being said, you can't really say that he will never have a game like that. That is crazy. I mean, a lot of players won't. I mean, odds are he won't, but you can never say that it's impossible, because there are a lot of players come out for really breakout games, really good games, but you won't expect it. 2 years ago or a year ago, you would never say he could have a game like that, but then today he has a great game. But anyway, I'm just saying, one game out of 17, I'm not too upset with him doing that. But it's not consistent, him getting that many sacks. So in the next game, he only gets 1 sack. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm not going to say if it's a win or a loss, but he only gets 1 sack. And you guys could look out for that coming soon. I'm just taking a look at the history we had with the Steelers. AJ Green didn't play too well. Antonio Brown, though, for the Steelers, got locked up this game, which was a very, very important role in how we defeated the Steelers in the postseason. But more importantly, the Bengals and Andy Dalton get their first postseason win. And then the next episode, we'll be facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's see what we can do against them. They're 10-6, coming from the wild card. They're hot. Let's see what we can do against them. Hopefully you guys will see that episode, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.